What if peace wasn't something distant, but something we practice together? Presented by New Thought Media Network, this is the Peace Dialogues with Reverend Christy Semple. Hear from today's peace influencers. Discover new perspectives on growing peace. Explore practical spirituality you can live every day. Because peace isn't just an idea, it's a way of being. Find out how you can become a peace influencer too. The Peace Dialogues with Reverend Christy Semple. Thursdays at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Only on New Thought Media Network. And now, here's Rev Christy.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're joining us from, and welcome to Peace Dialogues, where we inspire new awareness that the garden of peace is growing in our world right here and right now, and the seeds of peace are being planted and nurtured by people just like you and me every day through practical spirituality in real life. And each week, including today, we hear from a peace influencer who's involved in activities that are inspiring people in our world every day. And we'll learn a whole new perspective on what it really means to grow peace and how we can be peace influencers too. I'm your host, Reverend Christy Semple, a fellow gardener with you in the garden of peace in our world. And we're going to have a peace dialogue here today that will open us up to have new eyes to see that peace really is happening right here and right now. And so please join me in welcoming our guest, Reverend Kathy Mastroianni. Yes, welcome. Oh, it's so wonderful to have you here today. And Kathy, as you're doing that, I'm remembering the sign for peace, right? Isn't it for sign language?
I think so.
Oh, yes.
A good one to know for sure. Yes.
We're going to hear so much about peace today, and I'm going to share some background here, and then Reverend Kathy has some wonderful things that she's going to share with us and elevate our awareness of peace resources and peace activities. And Reverend Kathy, so earlier in her career, she served as Executive Director of Peace Works Incorporated, a rural shelter and 24/7 support line for women, children, and their companion animals. And that experience profoundly affirmed for her the necessity and possibility of bringing greater peace into our world. And she discovered the science of mind philosophy through Mile High Church in Lakewood, Colorado, more than 20 years ago. That timeless wisdom continues to deepen and expand in her life in beautiful ways. We're going to hear all about that. And she is an ordained minister with Centers for Spiritual Living, and she served as the executive director of the Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation for the past 12 years. She's devoted to preserving, sharing, and activating the teachings and legacy of Dr. Ernest Holmes in service to a more peaceful and conscious world. And reminding us of the relevancy, applicability of this timeless wisdom. And I want to say myself that Reverend Kathy is a wonderful example of living peace and being peace in our world, and opening up to possibility and learning and growing and sharing. And every time I visit with her, I hear her speak, or I speak with her, I'm inspired. And I know we're all going to be inspired here today. And so, Reverend Kathy, I know you have something already to share with us that's going to start us off. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Reverend Christy. It's such a joy and honor to be here with you. I love your passion and enthusiasm for gardening peace. Your peace garden with the world. So thank you. It's an honor to be here and to be with everyone here at New Thought Media Network, because it's just such a peaceful place. I love all that you do. I'm a fan of yours for sure. So thank you. Thank you for your dedication to peace.
Oh, thank you. Glad to be here with you.
Yeah, and since I hang out with Dr. Ernest Holmes here at the Science of Mind Archives, we are going to invite our founder of Science of Mind to pray us in. And he's going to share a peace meditation. It's called Peace of Mind. And so I just invite you, I love Dr. Patty Lukenbach from Mile High. We're talking about moving from our head to our heart, putting ears from our head to our heart. And so I invite you to put ears on your heart as we listen to Dr. Holmes right now.
Happiness comes from quiet contentment, an inner sense of certainty which cannot be shaken. The mind must reach a place where it no longer remembers the past with anxiety or looks into the future with uncertainty. If you believe in divine goodness, the loving kindness and givingness of God, if you believe in your own soul, then no matter what confronts you, you can be happy. The genius of Jesus lay in his knowledge of spiritual laws. He dared to believe in the invisible source of his being and to trust it. He was not frightened by the storm nor by the fears of others. He could say peace to both. Peace must exist at the center of everything, or the universe itself would be a chaos. You already believe this. Now you are going to act upon it. You are not only going to believe in it, you are going to act as though it were true, because it is true. There is peace at the center of your being, a peace that can be felt throughout the day and in the cool of the evening, when you have turned from your labor, and the first star shines in the soft light of the sky. It broods over the earth quietly, tenderly, as a mother watches over her child. Say to yourself, in this peace that holds me so gently, I find strength and protection. It is the peace of God in which I feel the love of a holy presence. I am so conscious of this love, this protection, that all sense of fear slips away from me as mist fades in the morning light. I see good in everything, God personified in all people, light manifest in every event. The Spirit unites everything with itself, vitalizing all with the energy of its own being, creating everything through its own divine imagination, surrounding everything with peace and quiet and calm. I am one with this deep, abiding peace. There is nothing to be afraid of. There is nothing to be uncertain about. God is right where I am. I am at peace with myself. I am at peace with everyone around me. I am at peace with the world in which I live. I am at home with the divine spirit in which I am forever immersed.
And so it is.
Oh, and so it is. Oh my goodness. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So much there. So much there to know, to feel.
I know, it's so powerful. And I'm just so impressed that Dr. Ernest Holmes, so he made his transition to that greater expansive realm of consciousness in 1960. And so this recording was like 70 years ago. And what impresses me about being here at the Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation is that this teaching of Dr. Holmes of Science of Mind is relevant today. It's just as relevant was. It's timeless wisdom. It's the wisdom of the mystics, that golden thread of truth that goes through all the religions and all the spiritual paths, or no spiritual path. You know, it's just really all about peace and love. It's eternal. And it's a joy to be here and to be able to literally, that was on a record album, you know, and so we digitized it, and now it's available on our website. And so we're unearthing these treasures of Dr. Holmes and making them available for the world.
I'm so glad that you're sharing this and reminding people and that get to hear that, because it reminds you, just hearing the voice, and you can feel the feeling of it. And it reminds you, as you said, that timeless nature and the experiences of life and the nature that of us that always is the same, always.
I love that. Yes. Right. Yes. Our truth.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
there's a
how he
lovely,
expresses
oh,
that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lovely word that I learned that I think is so true. It's to have your ear. It's engaging, actionable, and relevant. So everything here at thank you at scienceofmindarchives.com and all that we're doing is absolutely, it's engaging, it's actionable, and it's relevant for today. And so if you're a student of Science of Mind, a spiritual, if you're just learning, it's like, gosh, this is pretty cool. They're like happy
Mm-hmm.
people. They're happy, peaceful people. I want what they're having. Learn more, deepen, be
Mm-hmm.
curious. There's so many things from the Science of Mind magazine, that you can get monthly or every other month to our website. And Centers for Spiritual Living, finding classes, finding like-minded people. Then all of a sudden, that law of attraction, you're attracting at a whole new level. All of a sudden, everyone around you are these happy, peaceful, spiritual, loving, and we're lifting the consciousness of the entire planet. We are. The more we're that peace, and we focus on peace, and we focus on kindness and love, we are uplifting and the consciousness of it all. And it's so important. Every single peace person is important.
I'm so glad that you said that each of us is a part of it.
Yes.
Each of us is a part of it in what we can do right here, right now, each day. And you're really bringing this to life, Reverend Kathy. And I think sometimes when people, when they think of an archive, they might think of something that is older and it's helpful to preserve. But archives are they're living,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Yes. Yeah, the living archives of Dr. Ernest Holmes or Dr. Marilyn Leo, who's the founder of our archives. She started it 19 years ago, and actually it was like 28 years ago. She started archiving, and then it became a nonprofit, its own organization in 2007. But she's 91 right now, and she calls it the living history of Ernest Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
It's living, it's alive right now, just like the timeless wisdom that we're here to preserve that's useful right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you've organized it. See, the archives, that's what's nice is you've organized it. And I know you're going to show us that in just a little bit, how for each of us, there's something there for each of us. And there's a way to find just what's perfect for you in this moment.
Absolutely. And it's getting better and better. Our website's pretty good, but we're about to do an overhaul of it to make it even better, because we want it for researchers or like students, or like you said, maybe in the middle of the night, you're like, oh my God, I need more a prosperity consciousness, or I need more peace, whatever it is. You can use our little search tool. And then all of a sudden we have audio recordings like that one where you can hear. Sometimes reading takes effort. Maybe just close your eyes and you can just allow Dr. Holmes himself, to touch your heart. To me, it's a quickening. It's really igniting that divine spark that's in the center of our soul. And it's a quickening. It's like igniting it. It's making it alive. It's already in us. It's already there. Every single person here who's listening and watching, within you is that divine. It's just allowing it. It's surrendering the lesser for the greater, and just allowing. And again, that's what this does. Hearing Dr. Holmes, to me, it's kind of like a candle that can light its light onto your light. You're like passing the peace candle around, and it's just spreading more peace to the world.
Oh, I love that. And all this relates to this idea that we're talking about, peace influencer, if you will. We all, and that listening, that opening up, and in a variety of ways to nurture ourselves, reading and listening and sharing and being. That's all a part of what we can do right here and right now.
Yes, right here, right now. Amen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I as a lot of us have a story, my childhood wasn't like the happiest in the world. My mother committed suicide when I was 6, and my father died when I was 14. And I was essentially raised by my sister, who was 5 years older, who was into drugs and guys and all sorts of things, and it was just like, oh my God, And I do remember being at home just kind of going, wow, I could have been put in foster care. I could have been in an orphanage. I could have, and I just like, no, I want to help others. I went through this. How can I help other children? How can I? And so I went to University of Michigan, got a psych degree. I love psychology. I loved abnormal psych because I thought that was me. I'm just like, they were talking my language. I'm not like the normal person on the planet, and I just so could feel the heart. And I loved learning because to me, they're all children of God in whom God is well pleased. And so here I thought I was, broken or whatever, and I'm trying to fix myself and help others. And then I found Mile High Church. And two of my favorite phrases, that was one. Dr. Roger Teal said, Spirit says, you are my beloved child in whom I am well pleased. And that we are not original sinners, but we're original blessings. And those two things just said, wow. And then the other face that said that my mom's going to hell, because she killed herself. Not this. It's like, no, she is a child of God. She is love. She is peace. And she made a choice. It was her time, and it's okay. There's nothing good or bad. It's whatever we want to, if we want to put that on there. But it was a freedom. It's like, wow, it's okay.
That is I'm so glad that you shared that, Reverend Kate. That's a very powerful story, and how because sometimes people may feel that they went through lots of challenges and they can't contribute to peace. Right. But you can. And that's a beautiful example on how you felt and you listened. Was that listening to that helping and inspiring others, and you felt called to go to, you felt that, going to Mile High, and those key ideas, original blessing, and the goodness that you are. And so to learn from your experiences and to see them in this light that you have learned to see, that's so beautiful. And it's an example of, we all can do that.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. And again, our journeys, I'm sure, we're here on this earth plane to learn and grow. And I think the key is to really, again, this teaching is so loving. When it's not to avoid or ignore, something that's happening, it's really to be present with it with love. If it's something that seems like bad or uncomfortable, especially, that if we can just really, breathe, ground, be in this place and just look at it. You are my beloved child in whom I'm well pleased. Just look at it with eyes of love, and to be that love. That's, we can find peace. That's how we can create peace in the center of the storm. Peace, that swirling storm around us, we can be anchored and grounded in spirit and in peace. And like I said, I wanted to help others. And so with my psych degree, I worked in residential treatment with emotionally impaired kids. I was a foster care case manager in North Central Detroit. And then we moved to Colorado from Michigan. And, I just really, in my heart, how can I make the world a more peaceful place? And it used to be, I found Park County Crisis Center. And it was the women, children's shelter and pet program. And it's like, wow, we're answering the phone going, crisis center. And I'm learning how powerful our words are. I'm like, how helpful is this? So we did. We turned it to Mountain Peace Shelter. And so now we're answering the phone, peace shelter. And to the point where people would say, I want to come there because it sounds really peaceful.
Oh, beautiful. How wise of you. That, oh my goodness, the power of those words, and the feeling that establishes when you answer the phone like that. Oh my goodness.
Oh, you bet. And I had no idea what I was doing, honestly. I remember sitting there because I was like the only staff person. And I'm looking around, it's kind of falling down and apart. And I'm just like, what? I mean, it was talk about a leap of faith, and just every step. It was, I'm trying to figure out. It was an adventure. It was more than a job. It was definitely an adventure. And I was also a victim advocate for Park County Sheriff's Office. And so they would help me on the 24-hour crisis hotline, and I would help them with their victim advocate call outs. Lots of opportunities for peace, and honestly, the more you can do your practice and come in grounded and come in with, I mean, you literally can emit love and calmness and peace to situations, that where I even had deputies say, oh my God, I mean, they just so appreciated when I would come out on calls, or, I was there just to be a loving presence and to help people see the good in situations. I mean, I'd be on the crisis line. This one gal, I think she was young, and she was running away from home and stuff. And I'm just like, you just don't know why Spirit says things through. I say, you may not know that, but there's something good in this. There's a blessing in it. And she goes, oh my God, already, she started sharing all the good and the blessings that she was experiencing. And at the shelter, again, I just said, well, how would I want to be treated? And so I brought chocolate-covered strawberries in. I brought in massage therapists, ginseng jitsu. We would do empowerment groups. We'd have meditation. And then my favorite thing in the world is I decided that homeless people needed a vacation. So I'd load up as many as I could. It would be like 4, maybe 3 or 4. And we would go to Cottonwood Hot Springs and go soaking and then have lunch at Bongo Billy's. And so we would drive an hour and a half to Buena Vista and literally soak in the hot springs just to relax. We need, because you're in the same situation. All you do is you see, and your brain is playing through your fears and, the trauma. And it's like, no, now you're outside. You're somewhere new. You're being treated with love and respect and dignity, and to soak in the healing waters. And I remember this one gal, she wouldn't go in the water. And in my mind's eye, I just kept imagining her. No, go in, just relax. And she finally did. And then afterwards, we'd go have lunch, like a mocha and sandwiches at Bongo Billy's. And this one gal, she got a phone call from her husband who was in jail, and it wasn't domestic violence. She finally got a hold of him, and he goes, well, where are you? She goes, I was soaking in the hot springs, and I'm at Bongo Billy's. She goes, I thought you were at a shelter. And she said, I am.
How about that? Oh, see that you're treating them with love and respect and dignity. Your fellow humans. That's beautiful.
Oh my gosh. And so many of them, honestly, are still my Facebook friends today. Some of the first shelter residents from 2003. So I don't know if we can do math on that, 23 years ago. And now we're Facebook friends. And I've just always saw the beauty in them. And I always saw their gifts and their light. And I've been so impressed by them. They've taught me as much more than I've ever, it's mutual. We're here to love and support each other.
Well, you saw the good in them, and that inspired them and inspired change in their life. And look at that, the connections that you've maintained. And see, that's when we're talking about the peace on earth. That's what we're talking about. That how that being. Think of all the people, and even if someone isn't working in a situation like that. You're still interacting with people and who you see each day, and or you can go out and help in the community. It's that seeing the fellow humans, the treating them with love and respect and dignity.
Namaste, right?
Namaste.
The divine in me sees, honors, and recognizes the divine in you. Oneness. Deeply we are one. Right? Yeah, Mile High. So Dr. Roger, he taught Beyond Limits, and my very first class. And the very first class was in September. And our homework was deeply we are one. We're supposed to walk down the street, wherever we saw someone, we'd say deeply we are one. And within that week was the Platte Canyon High School crisis, hostage situation and school shooting. And I mean, I went for this. Literally, I'm at the sheriff's office as a victim advocate watching a tank go down Highway 285. There was a Jefferson County Sheriff tank as they're going to the high school. They're surrounding it, helicopters, the whole thing. And the shooting of Emily Keyes. I mean, our whole community was just, it's an opportunity for our community to come together and love one another. There's a bumper sticker, you can still see it says Bailey Strong, Bailey, Colorado, Bailey Strong. And oh my God, and then I went back to class the following week going, this someone shared about oneness, about that feller who caused the situation and shot and killed Emily. She goes, deeply, we are one. We are one with him. We're one with all people. And that was just such a lesson where I'm just like, oh my gosh, oneness. It's not like accept them, accept people who don't believe like me, accept people, who are a different belief or political or whatever. No, everyone. There's a Facebook meme that Jesus says, love everyone. And someone said, except, he goes, did I stutter? Did I stutter? No, love everyone. And so that's where we have that opportunity. We have that work that we can do, and that we have resources like the archives, like this teaching that we can use. And to find a practitioner, the media network has prayer requests. There's lots of opportunities to get a prayer partner. There's just things that we can do that can really help us.
Oh, yes, indeed. And as you're speaking here, and it reminded me of one of my favorite metaphors here, the garden metaphor. It is that continuing to sow the seeds of peace in the midst of everything. You see, thinking of gardening, you see these beautiful transformative stories, where they show an overgrown lot, for example. And a group goes in there and they dig it up and they nurture the soil, and then they plant. And it becomes this thriving, because the essence of life is there. And just like what you're talking about, even in the midst of these, what you bring to a situation when you think of the family of humanity. We're the family of humanity, and all the different things that happen. But when you still know that there's a oneness, and that it's not condoning, but it's understanding, as Holmes would say, the truth behind it all, that connection behind it all. And then that caring and that love, you're sowing the seeds of that in the activities that you do, so that you and others aren't pulled away down a pathway that does not nurture that, where the weeds continue to grow, right?
Weeds, you bet. And this is a kind of a minor situation, sort of. We had an issue, and I probably shouldn't say the name of the company, but there was a pretty famous phone company, and we were having problems with them. And oh my God, I spent months until I finally did. I reported him to the FCC, okay? And actually, I got a phone call from the office of the president. And I was like, nice, And I will digress for a moment. In ministerial school, there was a book we had, one of the books, it said, "A complaint is a gift." It was, and I try to remember this lady's name, is in Inner Outer Creativity was the class. And she wrote a book, "A Complaint is a Gift," because you're sharing. And, if you can treat it like with curiosity, and you can help your business, you can help everyone. And to me, that's peace, right? And this fellow did such a good job of listening to me. That's all he needed to do, and say, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," a few times. And he corrected it too. But he just for me to share my story, for me to get it off to someone in charge, I felt peace, and I'm just like, and I said, great, thanks for the money. appreciate it because we're a nonprofit. We love that. And I said, I really invite you to look at your systems for your customers. You don't want, you're a company, you have a reputation. You don't want to be viewed that way. And think about the energy, the negative energy, we could be sending them. But I said, please, this is my main request. Look at your systems, make it better. Do it. You're worthy
how about that? See
right?
all these opportunities to sow the seeds of peace. These are such profound examples that you're sharing, and I'm deeply inspired here. And I know you have some ideas here where you can show people where they can get more guidance and tools here. So what we're going to do is take just some like 2-minute break here, and when we come back, we'll have you show us, how does that sound, to go on to the website here so you can show people, because, to continue to nurture ourselves and, develop this consciousness that inspires sowing these seeds, because we can all do this.
Absolutely.
We all can. And you've shown, I'm so inspired by what you've been sharing here.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to take just a 2-minute break. I'm going to show a couple quick videos about other things from the New Thought Media Network, and then we'll come back and Reverend Kathy has more to share with us here. And so we'll see everyone in just a couple of minutes here. All right. Thank you.
New Thought Media Network proudly presents the Global Heart of Peace's Peace Party. Celebrate the many paths to peace. Explore an exciting life of peace. Embody joyous peace. Come to our weekly Peace Party, Mondays at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Only on New Thought Media Network. www.ntmedia.org.
What if you had a place to return to every day for peace, clarity, and connection? The New Thought Ministry of Prayer offers live morning and evening prayer, along with a growing library you can access anytime. This is a space for reflection, renewal, and real spiritual practice, rooted in the understanding that something greater is already alive within you. You are welcome here. Join us live or watch anytime. The New Thought Ministry of Prayer, part of the New Thought Media Network. Come, take a moment for what matters most.
So there we go. There we go. Tools here at the New Thought Media Network, the New Thought Ministry of Prayer, live affirmative prayer twice a day, every day, 8:15 a.m. and 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time. To uplift, to align, to transform. And so there's a beautiful opportunity there. And then Peace Party is a short 15-minute segment, and Reverend Kathy has shared a couple of those for us with some more specific ideas that in ways that you can nurture peace, grow the garden of peace in our world, and nurture that peace within yourselves and rippling out into the world. And so happy to share that. And now I know Reverend Kathy has some more to share with us about connecting with these tools, so much for us. Again, the archives, the living archives. And so I'm going to share the screen here. You ready for that? Reverend Kathy, all right, then here we go.
Okie dokie smokies. And so again, Dr. Ernest Holmes, he's alive and well. And this is sciencemинdarchives.com. This is our homepage, and it really does change pretty frequently. We just recently had this film special, The Science of Ernest Mind. But before I digress, right up here in the upper right corner, it says newsletter sign up. And I just encourage you, we have like a couple times a month newsletter, and it's what's new at the archives. And so you can stay in the know. We have monthly lunch and learns where we listen to an audio recording of Ernest, just like we just did. And then we go into breakout groups. So it's on the third Thursday of the month at, and actually, if you go under resources, I can show you Lunch and Learn series. It's the third Thursday of the month, and you can click here for the Zoom link. So it's very easy to do. But our newsletter will give you a little reminder, which is nice. But so like we have featured books, like we're promoting the Ernest Holmes papers. Just as incredible as the last couple of years of Ernest Holmes' life, his wisdom that he shared with George Bendel, who was living with him at the time. We have our newest products. So every week we have 3 or 4 new products, audio recordings. Look at Raymond Charles Barker, Right Thinking, Ernest Holmes, Our Greatest Need Daily, Overcoming Fear. We have different videos on our YouTube channel. We do a thing called Wise Sage Interviews. So we interviewed these sages of our teaching. And so like Dr. Marilyn Leo, our founder, is interviewing Dr. Christina Tillotson right here. So that's pretty cool. And our books, so again, this homepage is already chock full of stuff. I want to show you just the quickest tool. If you go to this little magnifier, it's our little search. And so maybe you want some more peace in your life. And so I'm just going to type in the word peace in the search bar. And all of a sudden, I have an audio prayer. I sleep in peace and wake in joy. Doesn't that sound lovely? Wouldn't you like to listen to that right before you go to bed or when you first wake up in the morning or both? An audio prayer, lead me into the garden of peace and love. I think that has Reverend Christie's name all over it. That could be like
I love the sound of that. Mm-hmm.
Lead me into the garden of peace and love. And then I speak the word of peace and oneness. These are all audio prayers.
Mm-hmm.
You hear Dr. Holmes, to be at peace. So many of them, a lot of them, we clipped them from the radio shows, and the entire radio show should be on our website too. And then we have document world peace is not an illusion. Or let's go down a little further. The peace that conquers. More peace. This is one we just heard. The peace audio meditation of peace of mind, prayer for universal peace, prayer for world peace. There's a lot of peace going on with our friend Dr. Holmes. And
I'm sorry, excuse me, because I like what you said there, Reverend Kathy. You said if you have this step before going to sleep, because sometimes anymore you hear people say, "Oh, I look at social media and then all these things are going around in my head." Oh my goodness, how about this? How about this? All these choices, these wonderful options here. I sleep in peace and wake in joy. And this doesn't mean you're not recognizing or pretending things are happening. They are. It returns you to the truth behind it all.
Right. Totally. Exactly. It can shift. You can, again, like I was talking about, just being present with it. Sometimes we just take whatever it is, no matter how seemingly awful or horrific even, you can just kind of be with it with love, and I love Thich Nhat Hanh is one of my teachers in my life, the Buddhist, the Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh. And in his book called Anger, he's talking to his mom or his mom. He said it's like a mom put like a little angry little boy or a little kid, and she puts her hand on the forehead, just calming and loving, and says, "Ah, anger, my friend, there you are. Ah, anger, my friend, there you are." You know, it's that shift.
That
You know,
shift.
same situation, different
Mhm.
perspective, using spiritual principle. You know,
There you go. Very good
and
point.
you bet. So again, we have our little search button, our account, about the archives. You can learn about us, resources, Lordy B. So all these are all complimentary and free. So history about Ernest Holmes, link to our communities, Black Pioneer videos. And then here's our YouTube channel, Wisdom of the Mystics. I did it was a New Thought Media Network show with Laura Topper.
Oh, yes.
And so you can, that's fun. And I will digress because look at time, but we are good. So if you click here, again, you can find them on our YouTube channel too. But here, Reverend Laura and I interviewed like Jesse Jennings on the mystic Ernest Holmes, or Dr. Petra Welders talked about Quimby, and Dr. Temple Hayes did Myrtle Fillmore. Even my friend Steph Swake did Louise Hay, Emma Curtis Hopkins, Jody Stevenson, Reverend Jody, the Lao too. You know, again, there's just, I am a Facebooker, but boy, what another use of time on our devices, right? That we can
Very
really
good point.
keep it into this history. So this is all under our resources. And New Thought, we have resource tools.
Again, I want to say, Reverend Kathy, and emphasize, this is, you know, the wisdom in the archives, and it's the relevance, and you are presenting it through all these different avenues that we're used to using today, and bringing it alive, as you said, through YouTube and Facebook Live and audio files. I mean, so many ways to be inspired.
And I love that. You know, just, like our Facebook page, you know, we're doing always something fun on Facebook. And sometimes we do little videos, you know, it tells in other ways. I have inspirational quotes by Ernest Holmes. Like us on Facebook, you know, and again, our YouTube channel. Oh my gosh. We have, again, if you go to the playlist, I actually did peace meditations. Speaking of peace, so once a month. And now that we're settled in here, this is when we were in Golden, and then we moved, and we've been here in Unity Village for 2 years. Now we're getting a little more grounded and settled. Maybe we'll start doing these monthly peace meditations, because I do a little reading of Ernest Holmes. It's like, and we go into the stillness for like 10 or 15 minutes. It was like a 15-minute sweet little lunchtime thing. And so they're all recorded.
There you go.
You know, our playlists. We have, again, Wisdom of the Mystics, our lunch and learns. We even have them in Spanish. And so for the Spanish speakers out there, we have things translated into Spanish, including the lunch and learns.
You know, I'm sorry. I put on Facebook, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, and that's how they also to find you on YouTube, correct?
Yes, you bet. I'm sure they could get there too. Oh, thank you. I so appreciate it. But yeah, YouTube, same thing. Science of Mind Archives and Library. Look for the picture of Ernest Holmes. But the playlists are just special. From Wise Sage interviews, from the Wisdom of the Mystics are all right there. We have birthday parties, lunch and learns. Again, these are all complimentary and ready for you. So we just, again, we're here for you. And if you become on the website, you can become a friend of the archives. So the audio recordings are available when you're a friend or you have a website subscription. And so it's nominal. We're a nonprofit organization like New Thought Media Network, and we're really run by donations and friendship and people who buy our products, our spiritual wisdom of Dr. Holmes. So anyways, it's just something, it's part of a spiritual family. Again, I just so appreciate what New Thought Media Network is doing to create a spiritual family as well, where we can come together. But that we're even building it. That was our movie night we just had. We had a special film presentation that we want to make available for others. It's called The Science of Earnest Mind. And Oh my gosh, there was these people role played. They did reenactments of Ernest Holmes' life, and it was really fun.
So I love all the different ways that you are sharing this information. And so there's something for everyone, whatever way resonates with you to
Yeah.
learn, to practice. And I wanted to share also that with all this variety and this abundance, this is for someone who is brand new to these ideas or someone who has been in the New Thought teaching of Science of Mind or any of the New Thought teachings, even for a long time. There's so much here. And the practice of peace is just like nurturing a garden, right? We're nurturing the garden of our mind every day.
So you say that. I'm going to look up the word garden
Ah.
because Dr. Holmes, you might love these. Here's
Mhm.
the one we saw, Lead Me to the Garden of Peace, How to Harvest Your Mental
Ah.
Garden,
Mhm.
how to cultivate your
Ooh.
mental garden, and how to plant your mental garden. So there's these, you can hear the recordings of them, but also there's the transcripts of them. Yeah. So again, you can listen to it or you can read it, and they're searchable as well. And so we've had to take them out of old archival boxes and digitize them or scan them and transcribe them to make them available. We have volunteers. Now we have an archivist, and we're always looking for volunteers. So if this sounds of interest at all, we have a lot of volunteer opportunities on site here at Unity Village, Missouri, or virtually from around the world. Lots of ways to play.
I'm glad that you mentioned that. And that the archives is now at Unity Village. And oh my goodness, still the richness of what is still there look at that.
It's so pretty. And we have the fountains out my window over here. There's the fountains.
Oh.
And they have retreats all the time. Like if affiliated New Thought Network, Anton comes here, INTA, International New Thought Alliance, the Empower Music Festival, the personal spiritual retreats. Karen Drucker does an event every year. Here, there's the events calendar. But gosh, there are now not one, not two, but there are 4 archives on site. Unity Archives, our archives, the Addington archives, and now Anton's archives are here as well. So it's right in the middle of the United States. And so if you're going across I-70 in any way, it's like 15 minutes away just to stop by.
Oh, there you go. I love that. Right in the middle. It's kind of like at the heart. I love that. It's like at the heart. And as you're saying this is reminding me, thinking about how people visiting museums in this country, museums in Europe, to go to museums to recognize beauty and wisdom and skill, and whether it was something that was created hundreds and hundreds of years ago or currently, just like what you're talking about here, all these archives of all of this wisdom. It's a timeless library, and again, so many ways to hear it, to read it, to feel it. Oh my goodness, look at that.
Karen Drucker, boy, she comes here once a year and does her little women's retreat, women's time out. But like you're saying, to me, it's communing with our history. It's an energy. It's an essence. It's a pilgrimage to come here on this New Thought campus and to just feel and drink in and just open to receive the wisdom of New Thought, of all those who have come before. You can feel it. You can absolutely commune and feel with this energy. And we've had people just in tears. Just they've been so moved spiritually by being present here. And so we just invite people.
I love that. Good. Key things about being a peace influencer, if you will, are growing the garden of peace, just open to receive. That is that open to receive and that commune and feel. Look at that. Whole Planet Spirituality Forum and Retreat. Oh, who's doing that?
I know who is doing that one. But here, I'll just even put that calendar link somewhere. But yeah, if you want to stop share. But I could do this all day. But
I can.
well,
there we go.
But it's unityvillage.org, and you can go to their calendar. But it's just been such a blessing. I just can't even share to be with like-minded people in this beautiful space. They have a labyrinth, as perhaps you saw, and there's a little peace chapel that I go to at lunchtime and just sit in it. It's God was good when they plopped the archives from Golden, Colorado to Unity Village, Missouri. And my beloved JT, my husband, he helped move the archives. He packed and moved it, and so and then we had to sell 2 houses. It was such a leap of faith. We sold our houses, packed the archives, and moved to. We had to find a house. I mean, it was just quite an adventure. I mean, it was one thing after, it was just miracle upon miracle, and wonders never ceased.
Oh,
And
it's a beautiful story. It is, and moving forward and growing in peace sometimes can involve, multiple facets and leaps and big leaps, small steps, but to stay with it. And there's so much here that you offer to do that, and the examples that you've given on in your own life and how you have applied this, how you've opened to it. Again, that openness and receptivity. Oh my goodness. And I know, there was one more thing I was going to have you refer to it a bit about your yoga practice, because that is something, a big part of your practice too, isn't it?
Om Namah Shivaya. Yes, it sure is. There's a type of yoga. There's lots of different yoga. There's Hatha yoga, which most people know, or we're stretching. I mean, it's more than that. To me, yoga is union of mind, body, and spirit. But the form that I really like, I found it's called Bhakti yoga, the yoga of devotion. And to me, when I even just say it, I just feel my heart just open. There's like this longing and this openness. And we chant these sacred Sanskrit mantras like Om Namah Shivaya or Om Shanti Om, or, and it's so, it elevates. It's like we transcend this earthly plane into the place of oneness of all there is. And it's been my spiritual practice for about 25 years. And and what we do, my husband, JT, and I, on Sunday evenings, about 9 o'clock, right before bed, we go and I have a harmonium and we chant mantras for like 30 minutes or an hour. And we just chant. And so you're just so purified by the time you're done with that. And then you go and then you do sleep in peace and wake in joy when you're done with that.
Oh, these beautiful examples. And so for anyone practicing yoga or at any of the forms, how that too nurtures peace. That nurtures peace within you and ripples out into the world. And so, oh my goodness, you've shared so much here, and I'm so inspired. And I'm going to share one more reminder here of anyone who's feeling inspired and uplifted and appreciative for what you've heard here. And we'll have Reverend Kathy come back again. Certainly. The and Peace Dialogues is a show, as she said, of the New Thought Media Network, a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment. And so here's the givingness to express. And we had shared before, and I'll share again. I'm going to share your Science of Mind archives to go for support, for membership.
Be our friend. We take it seriously, and I love in Spanish. It's amigos de los archivos, right? Amigos, so you're amigos. It's all about love, and it's supporting this important work. We have so much to do. We have boxes and boxes of treasures of peace wisdom that we must preserve before the audio work before it flakes and disappears. It's time sensitive, and everyone's support allows us so we can digitize it and make it available for you and the world. It's a global effort for sure.
Thank you. Thank you for all that you do and continue to do, and for your husband. And oh my goodness, how wonderful that's something that you share together. And we are grateful for you, and for your your livingness of it, that beingness. We reminding us that we can each live and be peace every day and continue to nurture that garden of peace. Anything else you want to share as we are finishing up here?
Well, as you said, my husband actually is director of the INTA Addington Archives, and so he's right on campus here too.
Mm-hmm.
It is. We really are, dedicated to peace. I was so blessed to, to find this beautiful soul, and just everything is possible. Everything, and to just know that, and to just follow the guidance of your soul. And when you get a divine idea, something, especially the weird ones, you get something that's just like, just say yes. I just encourage people to say yes. Say yes to peace. And
I like that. Just say yes to peace.
Say yes to peace. Say yes to helping someone, holding the door, a smile. You never know where that smile could transform someone's life. And for you, for each person here to really to say, I am the peace I see in the world. I am that peace. And they use those powerful I am statements. And then just follow that path of peace, that garden of peace. And, peace is on earth right now. Peace is on earth right now. Amen. Hallelujah.
Oh, yes. And you've given us ways to open to that and to nurture that. So thank you. We'll look forward to having you come back again. And thank you to all who watch today or see this as a recording. So much here. And so peace and blessings. Namaste. Thank you.
Reverend.
Namaste, everyone.
Thanks for being here and taking this time to practice peace with us. Join us again next week, Thursdays at 9 a.m. on the New Thought Media Network for another live session. And you can always catch past episodes on our YouTube channel. Until then, sending you waves of peace and blessings. We'll see you next time.